We said they were pretty sure we're going to have to do surgery, and then by an hour later, we're sure, and we've done it.
You made it so long.
Well, I didn't do it.
Made it so long this season with him having relatively few symptoms of this, but I guess this is something you knew might happen.
Yeah, we knew this could happen. We knew it, you know, a month before the draft that this could happen, and at some point it probably would happen. And you know, we're hoping it would be a summer thing rather than the middle of the season. But it happened now. He was playing great. I think the good news is we know he can play, and we know he'll be a very good player. And in the long run, this will make him healthier.
How is he taking the news, Doc, that the season is over?
I haven't talked to him since the news. We literally went from the news to surgery. He just came out a little bit ago, so I'll talk to him after the game.
For you, Doc, this is the second time in less than a week where you've lost a key guy. Just where are you emotionally with the way things are going to play?
Well, my emotions are to the team. I have to give them that, you know. And, you know, I've told them at the shoot-around when I found out before shoot-around, I told them afterwards what was going on. And our goals haven't changed and nothing's changed. We will have to play differently again, you know. I think we're still working on what we may have to do, but I think we definitely have to be a small ball team. We'll start big, as usual, with Brandon and Kevin. I don't know if that's big, but that's how we'll start. But then after that, we just have to put our 5 best players on the floor, and so we're going to have to be creative.
Doc, Danny said that Jared had been playing with some soreness for the last 10 days or so. Could you notice his play at all?
No, as a matter of fact, he actually had told Eddie about the day before the injury, I've never felt better, you know, and then that happens.
Does this mean a lot more from just listening to you? It seems like probably a lot of Jeff at the 4 going.
Yeah, Jeff or Paul, whichever one you want to call the 4, you know, and go from there.
Do you give Fab any kind of a look?
Yeah, I'm sure we will at some point, you know, and I'm sure, you know, I know how people here love the young guys and love to see the young guys, so, but I'm sure at some point Fab will find his way on the floor.
Do you have to be careful, Doc, in that situation, not throwing too much too soon? Is that the #1 concern with Fab?
I don't think you have to worry about that. But, yeah, I mean, obviously, I think you try to give him as much as he can handle. You do try to put him in situations like when he's on the floor, Kevin's on the floor with him to help him. And, you know, listen, the good thing, at least in this era right now, there's not a ton of bigs. You know, it's not a lot of big teams. I think, you know, Orlando, because of the loss of Baby, has to play small at times. Unfortunately, the team we're playing next are really big. But other than that, there's 3 or 4 big teams in the entire league.
Hey, Doc, you knew Glenn as well as anyone. What was your reaction when you heard he was out potentially for the year?
Well, I felt bad for him because, you know, he wants to do well so bad. And I think you guys probably realize that if you've been in Orlando. And he wants the stage and wants to perform on top of the stage. And, you know, early in the year he was doing that, and then he had the first injury, and he works his way back and then have another injury. That's tough, you know. And the one thing with him and Jared, you know, because of their bodies, you're always worrying when they're not playing, both of them. And I'll text both of them, you know, my advice on that, you know, because I do stay in touch with all those guys.
Doc, for young players, aside from the rehab aspect, what's the toughest part for these guys to come back from the injuries?
Well, I don't know it's tough to come back. It's just the rehab and the weight and the boredom of rehab, you know, especially the younger you are. They've never done anything else. You know, Baby and Jared as well. Like, they've only played basketball in their lives. And now all of a sudden they will not be. You know, maybe Jared can take some classes. You know, he left school early, and so maybe he can take some classes and work on his degree. But we want him around us. I think that's really important. And so you'll see him.
Does this make you think any differently about when red flags come up at the draft, or do you still feel
No, I think, you know, we're very happy to have drafted him. And we felt that this would happen at some point, but we just thought it'll be during the summer where we could just say it's time to do it. You know, they had the choice a year or 2 ago to do this, and you know, it just happened now.
Have you gotten any indication, is this a fix, or is this a temporary fix?
No, this is a fix. This is a fix. But, you know, listen, anyone who's had a back, and a back is never fixed. I can tell you that.
Like obviously, everyone's going to look at the front line with the loss of Jared, but how does that affect the perimeter guys with the loss of him, particularly in the rebounding department?
Well, our perimeter guys are going to have to rebound more. You know, Paul, we've already asked to rebound, and you know, LB is a terrific rebounder. Courtney, when he has rebounding games, usually plays well. So we're just going to, you know, everybody's going to have to rebound. The guy that I'll put the most pressure on is a little unfair because he's never been a great rebounder, is Jeff Green. When he's in, he's going to have to rebound. So, listen, that's what we have to do.
You mentioned how impressed you'd been with Jared this year. Do you worry about how this affects his development going forward at all?
No, it just slows it a little bit. But, you know, like I said before, Jared's an old soul. It's not like he needs a summer league or anything like that. He'll be ready by summer league, but I don't envision us playing him in summer league. He doesn't need summer league. A lot of young guys do. He's not one of those guys, so I don't think it slows him much at all. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.
Thanks, Coach.